Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. So we had a couple celebrity deaths. Oh, by the way, it's the Kevin Jackson Show, KJRadio.com. You want to call the show, 844-551-8255. Had a couple of people die. Jerry Lewis died. He became known for his fight against muscular dystrophy. When I was a kid growing up, I would not miss a Jerry Lewis film. Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin. Remember their falling out, things like that. He died. Sonny Landham died. The guy, I think he played the Indian in Predator. So he died recently. Who else died? Somebody else died. I can't remember who it is. This has been like 3 dies. My grandmother would say, death, it comes in threes, baby. I'd be like, no, it doesn't, Grandma. 187,000 people a day die. Something like that. It's a big number. And it gets bigger every day as we get more and more people on Earth. So, people don't die in threes. It just, you might remember, movie stars or people of note. No, not even that. Go look at who died over the past week. It would shock you. Different people dying. Anyway, rest in peace, all of them. I remember when one of my high school friends died, and we were all sad, and one of my buddies, he put it in perspective. He said, Kev, he said, we all got the rest of our lives to live, and we don't know what's coming up. Burl, he's in heaven, dude. And I remember thinking, what a peaceful way to think about that. I mean, we were 16, 17 years old when Burl died, and we're talking about, how did he die? And what's up for us? And, we're all contemplating our existence. And something, as I contemplate the idea that one of these days I got to leave this earth, you have to leave this earth, what are we doing all this for? Shouldn't we just spend our time enjoying the little bit of time we have on earth? Or is there something better, bigger? Of course, we mostly believe that there's something bigger and better, or we wouldn't spend our time trying to make the earth a little bit better, trying to straighten people out, trying to get them to think differently. I would hate to think we've wasted all this time trying to get the left to come around to our way of thinking and living life on terms of righteousness, only to find out that nothing's there. That's what they claim. They're like, you guys are spending all that time working and it's not going to do anything for you. It's like telling somebody, why are you spending all that time in the gym? Or why are you spending all that time eating right when you're going to die anyway? And you go, well, it may make me live longer. It may improve the quality of my life. And you know what? If there is another life, I don't want to go into it as a fat leftist slob. Would you? It cracks me up that these things. I think about this kind of stuff all the time because we are spending an exorbitant amount of time, people, let's be honest, trying to protect this thing we called America. Why is it so important to us? How much time do you think the average Mexican is spending protecting Mexico? The average Chinese person, I was going to say Chinaman, China, whatever. How much time do you think I lived in China. I can tell you the Chinese, the majority of Chinese don't give a rat's behind about what China's up to. They just live. And there's something to be said for that, isn't there? And I don't mean it in a like, oh, look at what we're missing out on. Europeans don't seem to care. Let them in. Open the borders while they go on their 3-week, 4-week, 5-week, 6-week vacations every single year, dealing with their socialism and then going back and facing the grind again, all to get that little bit of heaven for just a bit. I don't envy them 1 ounce. I think it's so cool that we get up and we say something is so much more important to us that we're willing to fight for it. And I doubt if there's a single person listening to this call outside of some of the youngsters who have any skin in the game anymore. We could disappear and there'd be no impact on the world, on our worlds. In other words, you could take the money you've saved, the job you're currently doing, and you could shut off politically. Never utter the words Trump or Obama or Clinton or legislation or Obamacare or whatever ever again. Take what comes at you and you could adjust and you'd have a happy life. And you'd be fishing and golfing and, I don't know, taking the blue pill and hanging out with your old man or your old woman at the villages and just having a good time. And you choose not to. Or maybe you're doing both. Maybe you multitask. But the point is, you have a stake in this. And it's not a personal stake. It's not self-indulgent the way the left are. They don't care. I've heard leftist kids, you know what they've told me? Leftist kids have said to me, I don't care if old people have Social Security. All I care is that I have it. I've had old people say to me, old leftists say, I don't care if there's a nickel left over for Social Security for the kids. I paid and I want mine. You know what I hear us say? I've deposited into Social Security. I never plan on using it. If somebody that needs it more than I can have access to it, fine. You leave your money in Social Security. You leave it in unemployment. You don't even touch it. You give it to the government because that's how good you are. You are good people. Don't you love that? That's who we are. That's who we represent. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about this hour. I got a story. I'd been meaning to cover this story a while back, and it's about a judge in Texas. I want to cover that. I want to cover these statues in a bit more depth. I think it's so silly, and I think we have an opportunity right now to really teach a lesson, particularly to blacks, by ridiculing the idea of tearing down statues. I've heard many people, Louis Gohmert said it, I talked about it on TV. What's behind this? What sinister motive could be behind this? The idea that they want to rip out statues. Who cares? Nobody cares. Barkley said it best. A statue doesn't bother me. That's what Barkley said, and I can say the same thing. I can echo that comment. I want to talk about Kickstarter, a Kickstarter campaign I think you're going to get a kick out of, pardon the pun, and also Kaepernick, because he's back in the news. There's a rally coming up for him, and I find it really funny that people. He was able to galvanize folks. And by the way, they're going to put him in the Smithsonian. They want things of what he's done in the Smithsonian. That led to a funny article that we'll get into another time. Well, I want to talk about Kaepernick a little bit and how he's now fitting in, transcended sports, and now he's fitting into the lexicon of America yet again with this rally they're going to have for him. I'm curious as to the outcome of this rally. Who supports this moron going forward? How many Holly weirdos? How many NFL players? What's the intent? I'm curious, and I bet you are as well. Anyway, we got that to talk about and much more.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful four-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.